All right, if you're an Etsy seller, you know the hustle is so real. But what happens when you, the creator, the shipper, the everything, what happens when you need a break? Well, today we're diving into an absolutely crucial tool for every single seller, Etsy's holiday mode.
I mean, we've all been there, right? The orders are just piling up, life throws you a curveball, or maybe you just desperately need a vacation to recharge those creative batteries. So the million-dollar question is, how do you hit the pause button without totally derailing everything you've worked so hard to build?
And that, right there, is the heart of the problem, isn't it? It's this constant tug of war between taking care of yourself and taking care of your business. If you ignore your own well-being, you're heading straight for burnout. But if you ignore the shop, you risk late orders and unhappy customers. It feels like a no-win situation.
So, here's the game plan for the next few minutes. We're going to break it all down. First, we'll look at that seller's dilemma. Then, I'll introduce you to your shop's official pause button. We'll walk through exactly how to activate it, cover all the critical details of what happens while you're away, and finally give you some pro tips for a super smooth return.
Okay, let's start with that moment every successful seller dreads and also kind of loves, when your success becomes almost too much to handle. This is the classic burnout versus business conundrum.
This quote, it just brings it all home, doesn't it? Just imagine being in this position. It's an amazing problem to have for sure, but it is still a problem. You physically can't keep up, but the thought of closing your shop even for a bit feels like taking a huge step backward. This is exactly the situation we're here to solve.
And that leads us directly to the solution that Etsy has built right into the platform for you. This isn't about shutting down. It's about taking a strategic pause.
So what is it really? Think of holiday mode as making your shop invisible to new customers, all while keeping everything perfectly safe and sound behind the scenes. It's like putting a little "Be Right Back" sign on your digital front door. And the reasons you might need to use it are basically, well, life. Maybe you're finally taking that trip, or you're under the weather, or there's a family emergency. Maybe you're just totally swamped with orders, like our jewelry maker. Or, and this one is so important, you just need a mental health break. This feature is for all of that.
So you're sold. How do you actually turn this thing on? Well, the good news is it's incredibly simple whether you're at your computer or managing things from your phone.
Okay, so on a desktop, it's just a few clicks. You go to your shop manager, find settings, then options. But here's what's really important. Steps 5 and 6. Don't just flip the switch. Take a minute to write a clear shop announcement and set up an auto-reply. That's your customer service while you're away, so make it good.
And what if you're running your entire empire from your phone? No problem at all. The Etsy Seller app makes it just as easy. The steps are almost identical. Just, again, remember to craft those away messages before you tap that save button.
All right, this next section is where we get into the really, really important stuff. Because activating holiday mode isn't just about flipping a switch. It has some very specific effects on your shop that you absolutely need to know about.
Just look at this slide for a second. It's like night and day, right? On the left, with holiday mode, you have a controlled, professional pause. On the right, without it, you've got chaos. Orders piling up, bad reviews. It's a mess. This just perfectly shows why letting things slide is never the right call. Holiday mode is all about protecting your reputation. So what does a customer actually see? Well, they'll land on your page and see a clear notice that you're taking a short break. Your items won't pop up in any searches. But, and I think this is a fantastic feature, they can sign up to get an email the second you're back, so you don't completely lose that interested buyer.
Now this is a big one, so listen up. Holiday mode stops new orders, but it is not a get-out-of-jail-free card for your existing responsibilities. You still have to ship everything that's already been purchased on time, and you need to manage any open cases or messages. It's a pause on sales, not a pause on customer service.
Okay, let's talk about the money. Your Etsy ads, they get paused automatically, which is great, no charges there. But your subscriptions, like Etsy Plus or your pattern site, they keep on running, and so does the billing. And that brings us to a really, really important line on this table.
The auto-renew surprise. Seriously, this is the one that catches so many sellers off guard. Even though your listings are hidden from everyone, if they're set to auto-renew, you will still be charged that 20-cent fee when they expire. Now, if you're only gone for a weekend, no big deal. But for a longer break, that can really add up.
All right, you've had your break. You're feeling refreshed, you're restocked, and you're ready to get back in the game. Let's talk about how to make sure that comeback is as smooth as possible.
And getting back to business is, you guessed it, just as easy as turning it on. You just reverse the exact same steps, flip that toggle back to off, click Save, and boom,
you are open for business again. But here's a little pro tip that is going to save you from a moment of pure panic. Once you click Save, your shop does not reappear instantly. It can take a few minutes, sometimes up to 10, for Etsy's system to get everything back into the search results. So take a deep breath, grab a coffee, and don't worry if you don't see it right away. So let's just run through your final pre-holiday checklist. 1. Finish and ship every single pending order. 2. Set those clear away messages. 3. Be smart about auto-renew, especially for a long break. And 4, most importantly, always choose holiday mode over letting your customer service and shipping time slip. It's the professional move.
You know, at the end of the day, taking a break isn't a sign of weakness. It's a brilliant business strategy. It's how you avoid burnout and keep that creative fire going. So the only real question left is, now that you know how to do it right, is your shop ready for you to take that break when you need it most?